Hero and the princess. You brought the witch to her.
You're on a path.
Give me a sec. Let me just save. And I would like to load this one. See if I can change something. You know what? No. I don't want to do that. I want to see if I can get to the damsel first before I change anything. And at the end of the bed is a cabin, and the basement of the cabin is a princess.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Let's just silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. The interior of the cabin is almost
Nope.
The door to the basement creaks open. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be. Walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of the...
Hold on, let's talk a bit first.
Okay.
Wait, this is different. Wait, the only thing I can explore. Okay. All these choices. Okay. What's your name?
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
She doesn't have a name.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Princess it is.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
So is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
I'm still not gonna get the blade. I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you're locked up down here for a reason.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason.
What is the reason?
I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
I don't know, maybe it's your kink.
You have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
If I'm the first person you've seen in a while, what have you been eating or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
You should have been dead! After 3 days! You should have been dead after 3 days for having no water!
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
It is, though.
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
I was sent here to slay you. You're apparently supposed to end the world. But I don't think you're actually dangerous.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
Nope. No, which is why I don't think you're actually dangerous.
Sooner or later, you'll learn to trust me. Hopefully it won't be too late when you finally come around.
Thank you for believing me. Now, can you help me get out of here?
I still have a few more questions before we leave.
There's going to be plenty of time to chat after I'm free, but okay. What do you want to know?
There are no questions. I won't kill you, but I can't just set you free. It's too risky. Like, this doesn't add up. Fit of the world, go back upstairs, Vito. Shit. Shit. Fuck, can I go back? No! 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 I'll just go back upstairs to the baby without saying another word.
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
I was going to...
You'd better hope for your own sake that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing.
We've seen it twice now that it's really easy for her to slip her hands through the chains. Those chains are just a mask.
She has to be bluffing, but I'd hurry if I were you.
I'll just leave.
You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet.
Too quiet.
Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen.
Wait, is she on the ceiling?
Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
Oh yeah, it actually did, yeah. I think we got off on the wrong foot. Do you think we can start over?
Oh, you coward.
There was no other choice.
No, I don't think we can. Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
Sure.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her.
She become a chameleon.
Where is she?
Close the door behind you. No! Oh.
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Come on out. Let's just get this over with.
I can wait. I'm very patient.
I can wait too.
You do your best to patiently wait her out. But eventually, exhaustion starts to set in. Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here.
Keep waiting.
You wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers. You barely even realize that you've started to drift off.
I have a lot that I don't even remember falling asleep, and then my brother comes upstairs and says, "What are you feeling? You fell asleep?" Like, huh? No, I didn't. What? And yeah, I did fall asleep.
Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs. There's nothing to be done. You're already half gone. It can't just end like this, right?
I wanted to save you.
As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The beast, the kiddo.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
She's going to kill me again!
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened, then something else must have trapped us here.
The haunted?
You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you, and why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We did our best with the information we were given, and yet you still died, didn't you? So, great, congratulations, you've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess and now everyone... Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back. If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
I don't know.
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
I don't know.
All the more reason to keep our wits about us, should we even return to the cabin. We could find a safe little hole somewhere instead. You have to go to the cabin. If you don't slay the princess, she's going to end the world, which you're always going to be a part of, even if you're cowering in a hole. There's no escaping your responsibility here.
Escaping your responsibility. Let's talk about this princess.
Just be quick about it.
Do we have to actually? Don't tell me the same thing. To quote you from last time, she's just a princess. Why was she able to rip me apart with her bare hands?
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin and you'll be fine.
She killed me last time around. How can I make sure that doesn't happen again?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job and save the world.
You're being cagey. Why aren't you not telling me?
I told you everything you need. If you want us to stand a chance against her, we need to be armed with information. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her,
You're a
the
broken
better. Then you're
record.
afraid, aren't you? Just like us. Of course I'm afraid. Fear is an extremely normal thing to feel when the fate of the entire world is at stake. But that's not the only thing you're afraid of. You're scared of something worse. Stop projecting your neuroses onto me and just get to the cabin already.
Neuroses. Who locked her in that basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
Oh,
I'm special!
of course you're special can mean all sorts of things.
Exactly.
Don't let it make you careless. We need clear thoughts and pricked ears.
That's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind,
Yeah. Proceed to the cabin. The leave stuff we do later.
a warning. Before she will
Lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature?
I don't know.
I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered.
We're the one going to her.
She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell.
Also, the trail. Why is there one indent in the trail? It's like a one-wheeled kind of thing went in there.
That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Let's go.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Termite-eaten table.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Didn't see anything but a mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't? What a strange thing to lie about. Maybe he doesn't see it. Much like he hasn't seen what's already happened.
Why would you lie about that? What's the point?
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless?
The cabin is different from last time.
Very different. I wonder why.
I wonder why as well.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
This all happens because I want to get back to the damsel. Would approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
No,
Reach
it's
forward,
gone.
rub your hand against the cabin wall. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone.
Gone. No blade.
No steel claw. Do you think we can talk our way out of this? I don't think she wants to talk. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager.
Eager.
You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere.
She's on the left.
You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess.
Is she behind us now?
You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Ah, fuck. Just move.
You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her.
Great.
Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. but you still feel her gaze on you.
I didn't bring my blades. She didn't want to.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs.
Great, she's guarding the basement stairs.
So she's cut off our escape. Shit. What do we do?
This is the first time they... This is the first time they swear. We don't have to kill each other. What if I helped you? What if we left together? If you could get out of here on your own, wouldn't you have already left? Lightning assures that I was sent to kill you because you're a threat to the world. I'm starting to believe it's true. I don't want to kill her. We don't have to kill each other.
You cannot reason your way out of this, fledgling. There's no compromise with what I am.
Great.
At least she's upfront about her intentions.
What do you want?
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants. Just run for the blade upstairs and slay her with it.
No.
Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful. She's just a princess. Don't overthink it.
If she was just a princess, she would have a normal human body, but now she looks like an overgrown ferret or something.
She is clearly not. She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else.
Okay.
We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
We need to do something! She will know if we played that. She can hear us. Survive.
Jungle, barely moving out of the way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen.
Let's go! I don't think I can keep this up.
You have to. We at least have to make an opening.
But why? Why do you want to kill me?
Why does anything kill anything else? She needs to.
I didn't say I wanted to kill you.
It sounds like she wants to do something even worse.
I don't want to say anything about what she wants to do, because we all know what we're thinking right now.
What she wants only matters if she wins, and you're not going to let that happen.
I don't have a blade!
A tickling sensation rises at the base of your neck. Flee. We can't keep doing this.
Shit. Stay alive.
You're a slow, or maybe she's a little faster. You avoid her slavering jaws, but she manages to graze you, her titanic momentum skinning you along your side. It's like being sideswiped by sandpaper. How is she that fast?
You're bleeding now.
You instinctively touch your side, testing her claim. It's wet and stings from the gentle touch of your fingertips.
Great, we're dying anyway.
A costly mistake. We can't make it again. We will make it again unless something changes. We have to break the pattern. We need more time. She's cutting off our escape.
True.
Our game is nearing its end.
Okay, fine. Why do you want to eat me?
I don't question who I am or what I want. I simply do. To act is always better than to react. To do is always better than to watch.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you do well to listen to her. Less standing around asking questions, more doing exactly as I say.
No, I'm not listening to you.
She's more tense this time. She means this next blow to be the last. The mere thought of moving again makes your bloodied side ache. We're exhausted. We're bleeding. We're still alive. We owe it to ourselves to move.
Again!
Once again, you narrowly avoid the full force of the impact, and once again you are too slow to come away unscathed. You're starting to get tired. You're making mistakes.
This is an endurance test now.
This isn't working. We have to do something. We have to figure out a plan.
Yeah, true.
Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. All that matters is that we stay alive.
Don't listen to the voice of the hero or the narrator. The voice of the second one is always the one we need to listen to.
We're trying, but we can't keep this up much longer.
It's like the opportunist said before.
We have to. We keep up or we die.
True.
You're getting slow.
Ah!
She seizes the opportunity, lunging once again from the darkness, fangs bared and claws flashing. She attacks over and over and over, and each time she leaves with a little piece of you. Too tired to think, but we have to think. We have to move. It's too late. Before you get the chance to react, it's over. She makes her last foray from the dark corners of the room, unhinging her dripping maw, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. You do your best to dive out of the way, and you partially succeed.
I lost my limbs?
Partially? Yes. The princess fails to swallow you whole.
Great.
She only swallows your lower body. That's just as bad. That's worse, even. It's death either way. At least this will be a faster end. You look down to see that the dirt between you is strewn with your intestines, trailing all the way up and disappearing behind her blood-stained teeth. Your legs are nowhere to be seen. You start to go into shock. The princess, bloody saliva dripping from her lips, idly gnaws on what's left of you as you rapidly fade away.
I didn't mean to do that. I still need to devour you. And it doesn't count if you're dead.
Why though?
We're not dead, we're... But you don't have time to protest her premature observation of your death, because everything goes dark, and you die.
Huh?
You're on a path in the That didn't work. We're going in with a plan this time. We're not getting stuck in another loop, just acting on instinct. We're stuck in a big enough loop as it is.
Wait, so every time we die we go to another chapter? So the other two things I succeeded getting there to the long quiet, but now I'm not?
Instinct was keeping us alive.
Oh, the voice of the hunted.
Until it wasn't.
Voice of the skeptic.
So what are we supposed to do?
Voice of the hero.
Great. So you've been here before. That doesn't bode well. You're not supposed to have been here before. This is supposed to be one and done.
We're just in a jungle.
So you know more than you're letting on. Yeah, what he said. Of course I do, but believe me, it's in your best interests. The more you know about the princess, the more difficult your task will be.
Right now, I died because I didn't know shit.
Why is that? Having me explain why would defeat the whole purpose. There are simply some things I'm not allowed to tell you. It's a hard rule.
It's bullshit.
And whose rule is it? Who's telling you to boss us around? We've died twice already, and if you want us to stay alive this time, it's in your best interests to give us an edge. It's my rule, and this conversation is over.
Okay, what's the plan?
She spent as much time as she could in the shadows. So we're gonna draw her out. But she's fast. And she's clever. We're clever too. So this time we're not gonna let her cut off our escape. We're gonna lead her to the stairs ourselves.
Ooh.
It'll be a lot easier to deal with her once we can actually see what she is. But you already know what she is. She's a princess. Yeah, right. A princess we couldn't see. And one that had big, sharp teeth, too. How about you stick to describing things and we'll stick to doing our job? Sharp teeth.
Mm-hmm. That is different than it was before.
You're right. This is different, isn't it? I'm starting to lose track of things myself. Ground is ground. It doesn't matter what shape it takes. We'll adapt. If it looks different, that's because the situation has started to spiral out of everyone's control. So please, disavow yourself of the notion that you can just come back here and fix this place if you manage to make a mess before that line of thinking leaves you yet another world in ruin. Though, as evidenced by you dying twice, it's safe to assume the fates of the worlds you've left behind don't concern you very much. Consider this your last opportunity to make things right. For you and for the rest of existence. But especially for you. Clearly we're not getting anything out of him.
I want answers. What is going on here? What do you know that you're not telling me?
Like I said, I've told you as much as I can without putting you at a disadvantage.
I am at such a disadvantage right now because you didn't tell shit.
If anything, I've told you too much. You've already died by her hands twice. You shouldn't need much in the way of motivation.
I don't want to kill her. What if you just leave? What happens then?
It doesn't seem like she can escape on her own. Maybe not quickly, but it's inevitable that cabin won't last forever. And she will. Forget I said anything. Just treat this with the urgency it deserves.
Is the cabin like a beacon or a dome that's weakening every time we die? No matter what happens next, it seems like all our answers are in the cabin. Let's see this through. I'm done with this. Bye!
You make your way down to the cabin. Your fated confrontation awaits. You know what to do.
Why is the cabin under a lump of earth?
Alright, we've been over the plan. Goad her out of the shadows, make her show herself.
Okay.
And what if she doesn't want to be seen? We'll figure out a way to make it happen. And if that doesn't make her any easier to fight, it will. It's always easier to fight what you can see, no matter how big or toothy she might be.
Okay.
The interior is dark and overgrown. Vines and brush obscure so much of the place that, had you not seen the exterior, you might not have noticed this was a cabin at all. The only furniture of note, if you could call it that, is a knotted stump, a pristine blade embedded in its exposed rings.
The mirror!
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. Of course that damn mirror's back, and of course he's not saying anything about it. Why is it following us? What are you talking about? There is no mirror. It's just the stump and a narrow tunnel that leads to the basement.
Wait, where's the tunnel? I don't see a tunnel.
He isn't tricking us. Can you feel the wind? It's telling us there's a hole in that wall. Our eyes deceive us. Then either way, we need to investigate. Might as well get started.
Approach the mirror.
You really think being unarmed is best? I hope you know what you're doing. But let's not forget that it's up here if things go south. The steel claw makes us sloppy, too confident. We'll be faster without it. You step forward, approaching the small hole that leads to the basement, hesitating before you enter the princess's lair.
Why is the sword glowing?
Haven't you been paying
The blades.
attention? We're not hesitating. This supposed hole is blocked by that old mirror. That mirror isn't part of this place. It's seeped through from somewhere else. It, if there even is an it, is a hallucination. Like you said, you've been here twice before. Your mind was bound to start playing tricks on you eventually. It went away after we reached out to it last time. Might as well try wiping it clean again. What's the harm?
Wipe the mirror clean.
Reach forward and wave your hand over the open hole leading to the basement. See? Nothing. Tricks of the eye. No one sense can be trusted on its own. You step forward into the darkness. If there were once stairs leading into the basement, there is nothing left to attest to their existence now. There is only a long tunnel of packed earth, growing more narrow as you descend. It smells of mold and decay.
Ugh.
The damp walls leave streaks of dirt along your body as you're forced to hunch, then finally squat down on all fours in order to continue. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. As you crawl forward on hands and knees, you're met only with the sounds of ambient earth. No voice slinks confidently up the stairs, no entity threatens violence or pleads for safety. Stay quiet. Don't give her a sound.
But I need to move. I'm listening to the voice.
You say nothing, maintaining the silence as you carefully make your way down into the basement.
This is turning into a hunt.
The basement is dark and cavernous, a gaping maw threatening to swallow you whole. There is no light here, save for what little starlight has managed to filter down the tunnel. And though you can't see the vastness of the space, you can feel it. You're exposed. Stay on your toes. We take a step into the shadows, and as soon as she moves, we jump back, make her follow. From there, we trap her in the tunnel, draw her out of the cabin, whatever it takes to get her out of her element. Then we're safe.
We're luring her out.
You step into the shadows and are enveloped in total darkness. Your heart pounds in your chest, ears pricked, eyes wide despite the inky blackness, waiting for any sign of movement. That's right. Keep steady. Don't let your nerves get the better of you.
Ah!
There, she's about to strike. With the near silence of a determined predator, the princess erupts from the shadows. But you've already started your swift escape. That's stage one. Now stay focused.
Okay.
You dive into the tunnel and begin scrambling up towards the cabin. You hear her behind you, claws raking at the dirt, chains rattling, then snapping, breaths hot and heavy with the effort of the ascent.
Oh boy! Wait, it's Otto. Well, Otto.
But the sounds are coming slower now, the breaths pained and stuttering. You no longer sense frantic motion behind you in the tunnel. You risk a glance. She is a broad and sickly creature.
Whoa,
With emaciated flesh clinging to bones too large to fit in the narrow space. She managed to squirm her way into the tunnel in pursuit, but now she's stuck, incapable of either moving towards you or returning to the open darkness of the basement below. So that's what she's become. She wasn't like this when we started, was she?
She has 3 arms? Paws?
No, she wasn't. Looking at her makes me feel sad. Yeah, now that we can see her, she doesn't feel like much of a threat at all. She paws futilely at the air between you, but her shoulders are pinned in the narrow confines of the opening. She has no hope of reaching you. And she realizes this. Her arm goes limp, flopping to the dirt floor of the tunnel, and her eyes fall from yours. Defeated. Her eyes look up at yours, wide, pleading. Come back, you can imagine them saying. Don't leave me here. But you shouldn't listen to the sad eyes of a vanquished enemy. She wants nothing more than to change places with you. If you want us to ignore her, then why would you tell us any of that wide, pleasing eyes begging for mercy business to begin with? All it does is make us feel conflicted.
That's his strength.
I'm merely describing things as they are. It's not my fault that her eyes had something to say, even if that something was a ploy, which, if I might stress, I pointed out to you. What should we do about her anyway? Can she still end the world like this?
And if she was never able to get out of the hole, then no.
She hurts. We should help. Now let's think for a second. Let's reevaluate.
Fuck!
Should we help her?
Ah!
Well, I do feel bad looking at her. There's no way to get close without being in reach of those claws. We've come this far, but can we trust a creature that until a few short moments ago fully intended to eat us?
I know which path I want to take.
What an excellent question with an equally excellent answer. No, you should not help her. She's clearly just waiting for you to drop your guard. Beyond that, you do well to remember that she poses a threat to reality itself. She is stuck, and you abandoned a perfectly usable weapon right behind you. How about you turn around, get the blade, and end this once and for all?
No, no blade! I have to do this. There. Bro, sorry.
What are you doing? We could all just turn around and be done. What's your game?
The game is called Slay the Princess, skeptic. And I refuse to do that.
You and I both know there's no game. He's made a bad choice. As you draw near, she readies her claws, raising them to strike.
She looks scared.
Don't flinch. Show her our resolve.
She just looks scared. Offer her your hand.
You reach forward, offering the princess your hand. How ridiculous. She was about to kill you. Do you really think getting stuck in a tunnel for less than a minute has fundamentally changed her?
You forgot to say that her face, she looked scared and was gonna retaliate because she was scared and using her instincts. So we're not letting her use her instincts, but letting her process what we're doing.
Yes, she's a victim of her own nature, just like we are.
Exactly.
If all she wanted was to kill us, she'd have kept trying. But she's hesitating, isn't she?
Exactly.
Yes, she is. Her eyes shift from faux ferocity to confusion to a gentle sadness. She lowers her claw and places it in your hand. Ugh. Do you think we can pull her out of there? We have to try. It's a bad death being stuck in place. And what if it doesn't work? What if we can't trust her?
Her eyes say enough.
We have to trust someone else eventually. It's either him or her, and I know you don't trust him.
True.
I don't even trust the rest of you, but that doesn't mean we have to go around pulling bloodthirsty monsters out of perfectly good traps. But we haven't seen what happens if we help her. Doesn't that mean it's worth exploring?
Good. The voice of the hero is what I'm thinking.
I can't argue with that. All right, let's see what happens. Maybe we'll finally get some answers.
Pull her free.
You tug, but the princess remains stuck. What a shame that the bones of her massive form are too large to fit through the narrow tunnel. Keep pulling. All he has are empty words. He can't undermine us if we don't listen. You are all infuriating to work with. But fine, you continue to pull on the princess's arm and she starts to budge. She pushes with her back legs, clawing at the earth, a burst of strength aiding your efforts. The dirt and stone start to crumble around her.
He doesn't want to say it, but he has to say it because he's the narrator.
That's the spirit. Keep going. Yes, quickly, before the whole tunnel comes down on top of us. Yes, wouldn't that be an interesting development? What if the very nature of this tunnel was such that you were incapable of leaving safely with the princess? How devious.
Bitch!
Does it collapse? Yes, it does. As you pull the princess free, the tunnel around you does exactly what you thought it might do. It falls apart. Trapped. No, we have to get out. We have to get out. It's too late to scramble for freedom now, little voice. You didn't think just pulling her out of there would be consequence-free, did you? Well, the ceiling collapses, heavy stones tumbling down on top of you and the princess, and I don't believe it.
Bitch, she's so big she can save us.
Let me guess. Everything goes dark, and we die.
No, it's different.
No, not yet. You open your eyes to see the princess, her body stretched over yours, her face wincing as she shields you from the heavy rocks and debris. There is space enough for you to move, at least for now. I'll be damned. So there's more to her after all. The pack is always stronger than the lone hunter. We save her, she saves us. She understands. Well, we can't keep saving each other forever. Her arms are already starting to give out, and there's a whole mountain of earth on top of her, just waiting to bury you both.
What the fuck is this?
We can always dig. Both of us.
We can dig our way out of there.
It beats suffocating to death down here in the dark.
I like what you're thinking, Hunted.
Then let's do it.
Dig through the earth together.
You and the princess dig through the loose earth of the collapsed tunnel together. How sweet. But it seems the harder you try to claw your way forward, the denser the path becomes. All of this effort and for what? A chance to end the world? I hope you fail.
We're not gonna fail.
His words are nothing. Pay attention to what you feel and see.
Oh, I see the feathers of myself. Hey, see, I see feathers. It's red feathers.
It doesn't matter if you ignore me, because I'm just telling you what's happening, and what's happening is that you and the princess are getting tired, and your mouths are full of dirt, and it's getting harder to breathe. Harder to breathe is still breathing. Well, either way, the two of you are miserable. I don't know.
You're
Form a bond with her. Can't be all that bad if we're bonding.
Ooh.
She's not capable of bonding. Need I remind you that as soon as she saw you, she tried to eat you? You are not friends, and as soon as you're out, you'll see just how seriously she values your life.
She was using her instinct. She's a beast. Beasts have instincts first.
If you were so sure
Bastards!
you were going to fail, you wouldn't sound so desperate. You're just hot air. There's nothing of substance to you at all, is there? I have plenty of substance. I have feelings and desires. Like my desire to save everyone in the world. I feel that very strongly. Do you smell it? Fresh air.
We're getting out of there. Claw your way to freedom.
With one final massive heave of her body, the princess pushes her way out of the tunnel, leaving you behind in the quickly collapsing space you once shared. Yours was an alliance of convenience, just as I predicted. She has left you to die, buried and alone. You are unbelievably petty. Oh, my pettiness is nothing compared to yours. You were delighting in my suffering and the damnation of the entire world just moments ago. She hasn't left. She's coming back. Don't you hear her? No, she isn't. She's...
Liar.
How many times do you have to be wrong before you stop talking? The princess stares down at you from the opening. Before the tunnel can finish sealing itself, she cranes her elongated neck and gently plucks you from the earth. She carries you across the half-collapsed ruin that was a cabin, carefully setting you down by the door.
No.
If there were to be a record, let it show that I tried. I really, really tried. But there won't be a record, will there?
Open the door and step into the wilds.
You open the door, the two of you stepping out into the fresh air and collapsing together onto the dewy grass of the outside world. Ha! We're outside and there's
It's happening.
ground beneath our feet.
It's happening.
Don't see any oblivion. Admit it. There never was an end of the world coming, was there?
The long quiet did it. He does not reply because he was fading out. Because his world has stopped the moment we saved her.
Yeah, we got him there, didn't we? I don't think I've ever seen him stunned into silence before. Can't you feel the hole where he was? He's gone. Can't see that. I'm not sure gone is good.
The princess rests her head close to you. Her eyes stare into yours amid the untextured threads of a world unraveled. Are we free? They ask. I'm cold. I don't want to be cold. Don't worry, don't worry. Just go to the quiet. But you don't get the opportunity to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
I got a rare achievement to form an alliance with her. That's a goal.
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared. This is the end for you, but it's not the end for me.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. Death. Real death. No, that can't be right. There has to be something more.
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. I'm withering. You withered. No, actually, you're dying. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. she's so big. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
It can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
It doesn't matter how many times I go back. At least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
If anything, it makes me like you more. I don't know what that says about me. Wait. Oh. I can choose. No, not really. It all seems so distant as soon as I'm near you.
It does seem small from here, and the more we journey, the smaller each of those steps will be. But that doesn't make any of them less special.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one is consumed by instinct, a dancer moving to the rhythm of the flesh. She will make for a ravenous heart.
Instinct.
She wishes me to devour you, to make you a part of myself, but she is only a voice. Do not mourn her, for she is part of something greater.
I'm still planning to kill you once we're done with this.
If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. But know that I do not wish you harm, even if you attempt to destroy me.
Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Have you figured out what you'll want when we finished?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
Do you still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
So you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
Are we near our destination? Well, I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Prepared now. Everything goes dark, and you die. Ooh.